How can we prep and take care of our family in tough times? When we talk about healing, we talk about our nation and how much crisis and concern that we see in our nation. It always comes back to the family. How can we make our family unit stronger? How can we go through some tough times as a family? Well, let's jump into a great list today of 10 things to help us get through very, very, very hard times in America. No matter what we face, if we do these 10 things, I promise you, you'll be able to go through anything, no matter what life throws at you. So let's jump into a great list today. 10 ways to prep and 10 things to do now for your family to help your unit get stronger and be able to face anything that comes our way. Today's video is going to get going. It starts right now. Hey guys, welcome to The Max. Thank you so much for being here today. If you're new to the channel, go down here, press subscribe, ring the bell, give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I'm okay with that, but tell us what you think about this video. When you give us a thumbs up and when you comment, it helps us stay on the algorithm and it helps our message get out a little bit further. So please do your part, give us a thumbs up, tell us what you thought about the video. Now let's jump into this list. This list will help us as people, as a marriage, as a family, to do better. And this will help us ultimately as preppers in any kind of situation that we go through. The first thing that we'll be talking about to make our family unit stronger, number one, is going to be date your wife. Now, what I mean by that doesn't mean you have to take her out and wine and dine her, or your spouse if you have a husband. It doesn't mean y'all have to go out and spend all this money. For instance, I'm gonna tell you what me and Misty did yesterday. We went out and we foraged for a little bit. We went fishing. The kids, of course, were worn out. They spent some time in the pool and then all of a sudden went inside. And me and Misty just got to spend some time by a fire, just kind of hanging out and enjoying time together. We talked about what we did for the day. We talked about what herbs we found for the day foraging. We talked about us fishing and just making memories. What it did, it gave us some one-on-one time. So I would challenge you to devote some time to your spouse. If it's simply going out to dinner, that's okay. But what I would say is, let's take all the distractions away. Why not just be one-on-one, you spending time sitting around your fireplace, you spending time just sitting in your chairs just talking, you spending time eating dinner together, but something you cooked. For instance, if you're like us, you have children, maybe you have a time where your kids go to bed at 8:30, 9:30, 10, whatever time that is, and then you all have some time to be able to watch a movie together or to read a book together, doing something together as husband and wife. This will heal any situation and make your family unit stronger by dating your spouse, seeing value and spending one-on-one time together. Number two, it kind of goes along with number one, but it's listening to your children, understanding your children's needs. The thing about kids are good at telling you very honestly what they're wanting and what they're needing and what they're longing for. So we have to devote time to them. We have done so much good stuff and we've made so much activity and we've got so much school that we've made children so busy in our life, so busy that we look back one day and say we really never got to spend time with our children. So devote time to going fishing with your kids. Devote time to listening to what they're saying to you. What I want my kids to understand is that I want to spend time with them, not going to a baseball game, not going to school and doing their homework for them. I'm talking about just time together. If it's setting aside time with your kids, you want your kids to find refuge in your home. Kids battle a lot in school. We saw this the last few days, how difficult it is for our children. Please let your kids understand that you love them, hear them out, listen to them, and y'all work through any issues together. Let your home be a refuge for your children. Number three, this is a big one. Sit around the family dinner table. Make time to eat together. If it's not breakfast and lunch, at least devote supper to it. Now, for instance, what we try to do is sit twice around the dinner table together as a family. Now, we sit around the table, we turn off TVs for 3 meals a day, no doubt. But when it comes to me with work, sometimes I can't be there for all 3 meals. So I'll either eat breakfast and supper together or we eat lunch and supper together because I work. But we want to devote time to the family dinner table. This is where we can listen to each other, communicate, and build relationships together. Fun times of the day, but also the hard times of the day. Sitting around the table, building a family unit together, you don't understand how much value it proposes for your children. To this day, when people hear that we sit around the dinner table and turn off all TVs, all devices, all that stuff, and just focus on sitting around the table, I hear it all the time from people who are a lot more seasoned and elder than me, and they'll say, I remember doing that when I was a kid. Well, if they can remember 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago, them sitting around their table with their mom and dad, the nostalgia, the family unit, that is special. So devote time to sit around your table together. Number 4, are you spending time on yourself? Now, here's what I mean by that. This is not selfish. This is not narcissistic. This is, I'm going to set aside time to not only physically make myself feel better, not only mentally make myself feel better, we're going to spiritually make ourselves feel better. Now, as a Christian, as someone who is God-fearing and has faith establishment of our life, we devote time to reading the Bible. We devote time to spending time in a devotion of some sort. Now, I believe that's what you need. But if you don't do that, do you spend time maybe reading a book? Kind of having some time of just silence, meditation, prayer, something like that. We live in a crazy world. We need time to just kind of decompress and understand that if we can spend time in a book, if we can read the Bible, if we can spend time in a devotion, if we can just kind of focus on listening. Maybe you're a listener and not a reader. I like to listen a lot more. Spend time with listening to an encouraging podcast, not one that's just gonna fluff up, not a fluff podcast, and not a crazy anxiety-ridden book. It's a time to get a little enlightenment, a little spiritualness, a little faith, and understand that we need to devote time to healing us spiritually. This is something for me is devotion, listening to a pastor, listening to a spiritual podcast. Those things help me get grounded and ready for the day. Learn to devote time to yourself, but understanding what I mean by that is building a time of therapy, meditation, or reading a good book, the Bible, devotion, something that's going to give you time to say, you know what, I'm ready to face the day. This helped me get to that point to say, I'm starting my day. No matter what I face, I can go back and remember what I've listened to this morning. Number 5 is devote time to game night. Now, I know that sounds crazy because we live in such a technological world, but we have to realize that sometimes just spending time around playing cards, playing dominoes, playing checkers or chess, not only does it help us build strategy, which helps us in life, but it helps us just enjoy time together, laughing. We played Uno last night. We also play headbands, which, we're trying to guess everything that everybody has on their head. The kids are chuckling, laughing. It's a fun time. Those are memories that will help us to enjoy this hard life that we live in. We hear about sickness and crisis and chaos and food shortages and all this stuff all the time. As a prepper, we could get very anxious. Homesteading can be very stressful. But when we devote time just having fun as a family, and this doesn't cost anything, you can buy a pack of cards for like $3 or $4. Spend time with your family by playing games. It is so relaxing, it's so therapeutic, more than you ever know. And when the night is over, you look back and say, we had a good time. So play some games as a family. Go outdoors. Get into the sun and start enjoying what you're doing outdoors. We live in a world, again, where we're so used to having technology that we can easily put ourselves inside and become a lazy human being, lethargic and just no care for the outdoors. God has given this beautiful earth. Go explore it, forage, fish, hunt, spend some time hiking, walking. All those things are good for us. And not only that, we can see the beauty of the day. Every new day brings a new challenge, but every new day also brings a new morning. So a sunrise comes up, it's a new day. Embrace your day, learn to do something outdoors. If it's simply raising animals, if it's simply walking your dog, if it's fishing, for instance, like yesterday, like we just talked about, we went foraging. It allowed us to spend some time in the woods together, kind of finding some things, if it's finding mushrooms or learning, teaching ourselves what's in wildlife. The outdoor beauty is unlike no other. Go out and enjoy it. Next, this is the hardest one. I think I'm challenged with it. I think everyone in our world is challenged with it. Learn to communicate and learn to spend time with people without devices. Put down your devices and learn to have one-on-one conversations. Me, I'm an introvert, so I don't do well just, being able to talk all the time. But it's very good for us to communicate without devices. It's very good for us to be able to put our devices away and spend time doing other things. We've talked about it a little bit in this video. Outdoors, playing games, spending time with your wife, date your wife, listen to your children, all those things pretty much you don't need technology for. So again, as a prepper, it helps us not spend our whole life dealing with technology. It helps us understand each other better. When we build a better family unit and when we build a stronger family unit, it helps us face some of the issues that we will face in this world. I'm telling you, times are tough, times are anxious, we're stressed. That's natural for our world that we live in. However, if we learn to build a family unit, we learn to do it with communication, without technology, it's a game changer, and it actually is very good for you and your children's health and your spouse's health. Now, I'm not saying your kids can't have technology. I'm not saying you don't have some technology. I mean, you're watching YouTube now, which I hope that you watch us a lot and share this video. But we do need to devote time, just like we talked about, in the mornings for enlightenment and meditation and spiritual guidance. We also need to do a digression from technology to say, you know, this is not life. Life is what we have around us. Life is not technology. It's not social media. It's not Facebook. It's not YouTube. It's not Twitter, whatever it may be, whatever your vice is. Learn to put it down and spend some time doing some one-on-one talking, some communication. It's good for us. This is even harder for me. It's communication outside your family. You build a village. You build a community. Now, I struggle with this because I'm not the one that just wants to go out and hang out with everybody. I want to spend time with my family. But remember, as a prepper, as a sustainable homesteader, we can't do everything. We can try, but sometimes we cannot do everything that we need to get done. For instance, we went out of town, and when we go out of town, we need someone to help with animals. When we do something around the farm and we want to do a butchering class, it allows people to come together and do it together. We build community. When we look at people in a like-minded way and we have friends that are like-minded like us, it helps us kind of fight the battles together. So build community. When you build that community and you work together, you can face the battles not only as a family, but have some people right next to you that are fighting the same battles. That's a good thing as a prepper and sustainable homesteader, to work together with people that are like-minded like you. This is good for you as a person to maybe take on a new trait. Maybe you want to learn foraging, learn to forage. Maybe you want to learn butchery, learn to butcher. If you want to learn to garden, learn to garden. Get a bee house or have a bee apiary. It's good to build a hobby. If it's maybe fitness, maybe you want to get better in shape. Maybe it's running, maybe it's hiking, maybe it's walking. Maybe it's karate. I enjoyed karate. Me and Aiden did karate for years. So those things help us enjoy life a little bit more and kind of get our mind off everything else. It's kind of like one of those spiritual helps. This is a physical or mental health, when we can kind of push away from normal work, normal activities, and kind of do something for us. Now, I don't mean this selfishly. Enjoy it with your spouse or enjoy it with your children. That's okay. But when we build hobbies, it helps us become more skilled, more well-rounded. For instance, Aiden has gotten to where he likes to build a lot. So he wants to build. He's also talked about he wants to start doing stuff with cars. That's great. My daughters have learned how to sew. They've learned how to play piano. They've learned those things which will help them and be life skills over time. Learn to find a new hobby, tackle it, and then, hey, start a new hobby. Learn to conquer those things. Those little wins, those little battles that you win, helps you again to stabilize yourself, to be more grounded, and helps you kind of get ready for anything that may come towards you. Number 10, take your family to church. Now, before you turn this video off or say, I don't believe in church or religious organizations, personally, as a Christian, my faith is everything. Our faith is the basis of our whole life. And when we build our life based on the faith and for us in Jesus, it helps us face the battles that we face. The reason we prep, the reason we do the things that we do is because we believe in stewardship, sustainability, and we believe that God has given us all the things that we need. So we want to be good stewards with what He's given. So we want to learn skills. We want to do those things to make us a better homesteader or prepper. Now, we're going to face tough trials all the time. We can see it biblically in Scripture, in our own history with the Depression and with wars. We had to rely on our faith to get through those things. Well, America has lost its way. And I believe we need, again, a revival. We need time back around the Word of God. Now, you need to be doing that personally with you and your family, but you also need to be joining a church that you can do it together. Here's what I challenge you to do. And if you're not in church, say you don't have anything to do with church or in any religious affiliation, find a good Bible-believing Christian church and you just spend a month going there. Just take 4 Sundays out of the month to go. Maybe go some Wednesday nights or Sunday nights or whatever night they meet during the week. And I want you to say, you know what, I want to be open to it. I want to be open to this church thing. I've never been open to it. I've been very argumentative or judgmental when it comes to faith or Christianity. I just want you to try it though. For me, try it. Just 1 month going back to church. If after that month you don't feel a difference, you don't feel like you belong, or you feel like it doesn't work, I don't believe you'll feel like that, by the way, then okay. But what I am saying is you're going to see a change in your life, and you're going to see that you're going to be more grounded. You're going to see there's way more to physical prepping, and it's a spiritual way. I would challenge you to take yourself and your family to church. This, for us, is the basis of all we do, is our faith. If we learn to build a faith in Christ, and we learn to look past our selfishness and understand that we need to build a stronger family structure, I honestly believe no matter what we face, from sickness, from lockdowns, from wars, from anything that we go through, the stress and anxiety of this world, we can face it knowing we are grounded in faith, knowing we're grounded in a strong family unit, and we can do this. We can conquer it. So guys, I challenge you to do these 10 things. If you do these 10 things, I promise you, your life together as a family will be stronger, and you'll be able to face the trials that we go through. Doesn't make life easier, it just makes it where you could get through them. I promise you that. Preparing for harder times when they come. Know you can face it as a husband and wife and children, husband and wife and grandchildren, whatever family structure you're in. These things will help you. Guys, thank you for watching. If you like this video, let us know below. If you're new to the channel, again, subscribe. Share this video with your friends and family. Our goal is to grow our channel in a way that is helpful for people to understand the value of homesteading, sustainable living, prepping, and getting ready for the crazy world that we do live in each and every day. Guys, thank you so much for watching. God bless. Happy homesteading, y'all.